Tae was laying in his apartment. He needs support. He is totally fine, but he is lazy. He revived his speech. He write his speech. He was going to tell Jungkook everything. Everything in his heart. He was about to express his love. He thought the page and looked at himself in the mirror. Will he like me? He touched his hair. Will he love me or will he hate me? But it is important to express my love. I will force him. He will fall in love with me. He is mine. He stood up, but what I wear? He opened the wardrobe. Meanwhile, the doorbell rang. He ran, opened the door. His best friend was standing in front of him. Jimin closed the door and followed him. Jimin saw his wardrobe and eye widened. Wait. Sometimes waiting for someone is comforting. Sometimes waiting for someone hurting. When the wait is intense, no one cares whether. But if waiting breaks hope, then a disappointment wakes up inside. But probably there was nothing like that here. Today they was going to break all limits, or maybe he was going to break himself. On the other hand, constantly busy Jungkook. Today he had a very important meeting and now he was sitting in front of his business partners who had come to invite him. 7 o'clock. He come home and got busy talking with Jia. Jia cooked for him. The food was not so delicious, but his daughter made something for him with her own pleasure, happiness, so he ate. Now it was 10 p.m. Jia went to sleep. Jungkook working on his laptop in his room, and time began to pass. On the other hand, the snow was heavy. Wind was also strong, but that crazy boy who was sitting in a corner of the park for the last 1 hour, waiting for someone. He never waited for anyone. It was the first time. His eyes are on the entrance to the park. His phone was switched off. He forgot to charge it. He was shaking badly. His feet are constantly shaking. Thankfully, he had covered himself, thanks to Jimmy. He was hungry. Fountain Park was near his apartment, so he was come without car. Now he was regretting. Time passed. 1 hour to 2 hours. Now it's almost 3 hours. The innocent heart breaks slowly. He wanted to cry, but he was a strong man. Please come. Please come. But his heart was dying. He was quietly on the bench. Jungkook had a sudden argue for coffee, got it from the warm bed and crossed the stairs to the kitchen, poured coffee into the coffee maker and waiting. Look outside the window. Snow-covered road. He smiled. Yesterday rain, now snow. Wow. He kept looking out of the window. His eyes fall on the certain place, and the scene of the previous day began to revolve in his eyes. How then they were close to each other. How he putting his coat on there. His eyes are saying a lot. All that scene began to revolve in front of him. Now I'm leaving. See you tomorrow in the park. Park. He began to remember. Fountain Park. His eyes widened. So the clock. 12 a.m. He ran to his room and picked up his coat or keys. Ran down stairs and out the door. Starting the car, quickly drive to his destination. After 20 minutes, he reached his destination. Got of the car, ran. Look around the park. Taehyung. Taehyung. He looked around, turned. A psycho sitting on the front bench. Taehyung. Taehyung. Tae was looking at him. He head against the wall. This time he spoke softly. Jungkook stood in front of him. They silent. Jungkook took off his coat and put it on. He was supported, but their legs are shaking. Cook picked him up and walking. They was looking at him constantly. They rested his head on Cook's chest. Jungkook felt weird and it felt good to be weird. They sit in the car and Jungkook sit on the driving seat. Before that Jungkook said anything, they are starting talking. 20 minutes later, they are both in the very nice cozy apartment. They was laying on the sofa and Jungkook was making chocolate milk for him. They was watching him. After a while, Jungkook placed the cup in front of Tae and sat down himself. Jungkook stood up from the sofa. I leave. They saw him go and stood up himself. But I had to tell you something. I know, but it's late. And why do you want to tell me? I am not your friend. They stood behind him. But you mean so much to me. Jungkook turned and the sentence stopped. Their nose touched his. They both keep looking at each other. Their hand on Jungkook's face. Jungkook's heart started pounding. Jungkook did not say anything. He just kept looking at him. Jungkook was silent, then whispered softly. They nodded and removed his hand from Cook's face. There was something in his voice. There was something that was causing a grunt in Jungkook's body. He was understanding something, but his heart was not ready to accept. He shook his head. They touched their noses. Jungkook's eye widened in the next moment. Soft lips that he see in his dreams every day. He wanted to taste soft lips. No movement, no rush. Both their bodies are feeling warm in the cold weather. Taehyung eyes are closed. His hands are on Jungkook's face. Jungkook eyes open. He looking at their face. His hand wanted to hold Tae in his arms, but his heart is afraid. So he pushed Tae away. They collapsed on the couch. Tears fall from their eyes. Then he smiled. On the other hand, Jungkook was still sitting in the car outside the apartment. He couldn't believe that what he felt of there. They feel same. He was happy. He was smiling. He touched his lips, kiss. He still didn't believe that his and their lips connected. He heart said breaking all the barriers and break the rules of the society. Let him hug in his love and spend his life with him. But his mind was said no. If this happens, what will happen to your daughter? Will you be able to face her hate? Are you ready for everything? Maybe because of this, your daughter will leave you. And most importantly, this society. This society, these people do not like same sex relationship. He also has a daughter. Will the society let her daughter leave? The answer is no. They will also punish his daughter, for which he was not ready. A tear fell from his eyes. Two, three, and then tears continued to fall. Why is this world like this? Why this world cruel? He was crying. Zoe sat beside him. She tried to put her hand on Jungkook's head, but she was dead. She could not touch him, so she just watched him cry. She wish she can fight this world. She wish. Love hurts, love broke, love kills. After Jungkook left, they broke him. He crying, he broke things, he screamed, he is alone. His psycho brain stopped thinking, not you. No, no, no. I can't. I can live without you. No, I can't. He smiled like a crazy. If you are not mine, then you are not anyone. But I know you are mine. He smiled, crying. He became mad. He really turned psycho.